Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Inshallah, today we'll be starting a new book. We'll be taking the book known as Al-Aajurumiyya. It's a book specifically speaking about Nahu or Arabic grammar. This book was written by a great scholar from the Maghrib area. Maghrib is Morocco, Algeria, etc. That area was all known as Maghrib. He was Muhammad ibn Muhammad as-Sanhaji, and he lived roughly in the year 672. That's when he was born. He put this book together in order to make it easy for the student beginning Nahu, for the student beginning Arabic grammar. The book is divided into 5 parts. So the first part, he's speaking about kalam, he's speaking about speech in the Arabic language as well as the word. Second part, he's speaking about i'rab. What's i'rab? The third part, he's speaking about different types of i'rab. The fourth part, he's speaking about af'al, which are verbs, and the fifth part, he's speaking about asma, which are nouns. Inshallah, we'll get into that. For those following from home, either you can take this subject separately, you may have a background in the Arabic language, or what we've done actually is we've started with Al-Arabiyya Bayna Yadayk. We've taken book 1A, and we'll be doing revision with book 1A and then moving on to book 1B. But basically, along with that, we'll be taking Nahu in order to complement what we've learned and to get a better idea of Nahu. So what I'll do is I'll explain the Arabic to you. I encouraged the students to memorize. MashaAllah, Sheikh has memorized only a few lines. So these 3 or 4 lines, because every single word here has got rules and it means something, every single word. So when you memorize, you've got the rules with you, and then you take the explanation and then you practice upon it. So I encourage you all to memorize, and if you can't memorize, read it at least 20, 30, 50 times and understand it. As I explain, inshallah, you can take notes. It's important to make your own notes, and also I'll share with you my notes, bi'idhnillah. So the way we'll do it is I'll explain to you the Arabic, then we'll go to the whiteboard, we'll take examples, and then I'll ask you questions. Obviously, the author begins with Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Everybody begins in the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful. Then he says, get straight into it, Al-Kalam. What's Al-Kalam? Kalam means speech in Arabic language. So he's telling you, speech. What does speech mean when we're speaking in grammatical terms, when we're speaking about Nahu? So notice how, and you'll take it later. Depending on the science or subject you're studying, they have their own definitions. So for example, in the Arabic language, salah, the word salah means dua. That's why Allah tells the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, وَصَلِّ عَلَيْهِمْ, make dua for them. And salah in the shar'i or fiqhi meaning is the normal salah we know. So same when it comes to these different sciences, in nahu, this kalam or this speech means something and it has certain rules and conditions. So he's saying, yeah, al-kalam. What's kalam? What's speech in nahu, in Arabic grammar? He says, huwa al-lafz al-murakkab al-mufidu bil-wad'i. So notice how these 4 rules, 4 conditions. If any of these conditions are not present, that means this will not be considered speech in Nahu. So the first is al-lafz. Lafz is something spoken, okay? Words which are spoken. Hence, in Arabic grammar, again, notice how I speak about Arabic grammar. We're not speaking about Arabic language as a whole. Arabic grammar, if somebody writes to you or if somebody points to you, we're not speaking about that nahu. It's not coming into what we're talking about right now. So it says al-kalamu huwa al-lafz, something spoken. Al-murakkab, murakkab, literally tarkib is to put something on top of the other, i.e. it's made up of 2 or more words. Okay, so for example, the minute you say Muhammad, the word Muhammad alone, it's not 2 words, so it doesn't fall under this, right? So al-murakkab means 2 or more words. Then the third condition, al-mufid. It must be something which gives you full benefit. What's the meaning of full benefit? If you had to speak, the person who's heard what you've said, they are not in need of any more information in order for the sentence to make sense. I.e., what you've said actually has a full meaning. So if you had to say Muhammad, if you just had to say Muhammad, there's no full benefit to that sentence. Muhammad, what? He could be standing, he could be sitting, he could have gone, he could have come. It's not beneficial. That's why in Arabic, when you read the explanation, it says that yuhsinu sukutu alayh. The minute the person speaks, then if he had to stop, then it's okay. So it must be something that has full benefit. And bil wad'i, it must be in the Arabic language. So the minute you speaking in English or you speaking something else, there's no nahu involved, the nahu we're speaking about. So notice how he started with you broad. He says, what are we talking about in nahu? We're speaking about kalam. What's kalam according to us? هو اللفظ المركب المفيد بالوضع. Must have these four conditions. It must be spoken, it must be made of two or more words, it must be something that has full benefit, and it must be in the Arabic language. Then he says, right, the minute you know the definition of kalam, you should know وَأَقْسَامُهُ ثَلَاثَةً. You can divide it into three categories, or it's divided into three categories. So everything in the Arabic language, which is known as speech, it falls under one of these three categories. Either it's an ism. An ism is a noun, or it's a fi'l, it's a verb, or it's a harf. Harf, English preposition. Preposition is something that complements the meaning of your noun or your verb. It itself alone doesn't really give you any meaning, but it comes to complement others. That's why it's called a preposition. So وحرف, and notice how he says جاء لمعنى. He said this harf, these prepositions that have come for meaning. Why? Because harf can have two meanings. It could mean a letter. So this wow here is a harf, it's a letter. This ha in the first word, first letter of harf, it's also a letter. He's not talking about this ha and this ra, this ra. No, he's saying any huruf, any prepositions that have a meaning to them. For example, min, ila, hatta, ala, etc. And you'll take that. So to summarize your lesson quickly, we took what's kalam, four conditions for something to be kalam. And he said it's into three. You've got a noun, a verb, and a harf. Noun, verb, and preposition. What I will do is I'll just draw it for you on the whiteboard so you can understand, inshallah. Al-kalam. We start with kalam. So in Nahu, the main topic here is kalam, right? So we're not speaking about the meaning of kalam in broad Arabic. So in al-lugha, they'll say al-lugha, lughat al-Arabiyya. We're not speaking about it in the definition according to the linguists. And we're not speaking about it according to anyone else. We're speaking according to those who are into grammar, right? So we're talking about grammar. For it to be kalam in grammar, it must have four conditions, right? So look here, al-kalam here. Al-kalam must fulfill four conditions. So, for example, what's the first condition, Sheikh?
هو اللفظ.
Al-lafz. So the minute I point at you and I say, I signal to you and I do like this, no, look here with my hand and I'm saying like this doesn't enter into nahu. I'm saying come, it's something understood. It doesn't enter into nahu, right? It must be spoken. So Ja'a and Muhammad and Zayd, etc. And it must be murakkab. It must be made of two or more words. So Muhammad alone is not enough. Say Ja'a Muhammad. Ja'a Muhammad, when Muhammad came, then that's two or more. Mufid means Mufid means it has full benefit. So you could have something spoken. Notice how, if I had to say Ja'a Zaydun min, okay, it's something spoken, right? And it's made up of more than two words. However, it doesn't give me full benefit because the listener is still waiting for you to complete that sentence. If I had to say Ja'a Muhammadun min, Muhammad came from, and I stopped there, that's not something beneficial. That's I've still left the person hanging. Has he come from Makkah, Medina, home, etc.? So you could have 3, 4, 5 words, but it may not fulfill these rules. And بالوضع means in Arabic language. Then he told you وأقسامه, that its types are three. Ism is a noun. Now, the definition of a noun obviously is a name of something, someone or something. And another definition they used to say is ism is something that has a meaning, right? But it's not connected to time. So if I had to say Zaid, I know there's a person called Zaid, but there's no time involved. It's not Zaid past, Zaid present, Zaid future. No. Why they say that is because the next thing that's going to come, which is a verb, which is a fi'l, it itself has a meaning. Ja'a, he came, right? It has a meaning. But not only does it have a meaning, it's also connected to time. So if you had to say Ja'a, he came, and then when, if you had to ask the question when, it could be in the past, which is Madi, could be in the present, which is Hal, and it could be in the future, which is Mustaqbal. Okay? That's where you get your fi'l, Madi, Mudari, Amr, etc. And then you've got harf, with a preposition. It's neither this, neither noun, nor is it a verb, and you'll take that. And this, like this, will go slowly, 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 and inshallah, you'll understand. Any questions on Nahu before we get to Arabic revision?
Yeah, the first thing which the al-kalam, so it has four, you said four conditions.
Yes, kalam according
Al-mufid,
kalam according to the nuhat, those into grammar, must fulfill
yeah,
four conditions for it to be known as kalam, right?
yeah. Al-mufid bil-wada'i means beneficial, one is like it is beneficial, and
Mufid,
bil-wada'i means in the Arabic language.
yes, and not only beneficial, means full benefit. So there's a difference. If I tell you, Ja'a Zaydun min, Zayd came from, is a slight benefit, but it's not a full benefit. So there's somebody called Zayd, he came, now you're waiting to know where. No, we're talking about full benefit. Okay?
And bil-wada'i mean in the Arabic language.
Arabic language. So the minute somebody is speaking about English and he says, come here, it's got nothing to do with Nahu in Arabic.
Yeah,
So is that okay?
yeah.
So inshallah, we'll stop here. Right. So give me some verses in the Quran. Give me one verse in the Quran that has an ism, a fi'l, and a harf. Mind you haven't really taken them, but think. It's in the surah وَالشَّمْسِ وَضُحَاهَا. There's one there in that surah. Okay, I'll tell you. قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا. Man is اسم موصول. أفلح is a fi'l, and قد is a harf. Right? Inshallah, you take those slowly, and the more you pick up. Right, let's move on to our Arabic revision. So for this lesson, we say وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين.